Hey everyone, I'm doing YouTube again, but I just wanted to do it so it was like fun, educational, a bit of everything. So I want to start this mini series. If you know me, you know that I love movies, I love TV shows, I love documentaries, I love aliens.
Confusing medical terms. So
I want to tell you this story today, I don't know, I think about it at least once a week. It's probably the most shocking medical documentary I've ever seen. So let's just start the story. So Paolo Macchiarini was an Italian thoracic surgeon. He was the man. He was the guy. He was the thoracic guy. He would be the one that you go to, you know, for your thoracic needs. His tale is like a mix of groundbreaking medical innovation, ethical controversies, and legal battles, and like everything in between. He earned his medical degree at the University of Pisa in 1986, and then he got his Master of Surgery in 1991. Then he decided, you know what, I'm gonna go do surgery, I'm gonna build up this career, and I'm gonna become like a famous surgeon. That's what his goal was. So Paolo Macchiarini became famous for pioneering synthetic tracheas, which are your windpipe. He would use like a synthetic scaffold, and then he would like coat it with the patient's stem cells. So he was doing transplant surgery with these synthetic tracheas. Like everyone thought that this was revolutionary, that this was gonna like blow the medical world wide open. So where it gets like really crazy, in 2010, Paolo Macchiarini becomes part of the prestigious Karolinska Institute in Sweden, which is a prestigious medical university, which is research-led. People who go to this university, they win like Nobel Prizes and things like that. Like you don't just get a medal, like you're legit. You're in the history books. So at the Karolinska Institute, Paolo Macchiarini was the man. Like he was like known for his groundbreaking stuff. People really looked up to him. He was published in a bunch of like medical magazines and things like that. But as with a lot of stories that are like too good to be true, cracks started to show. While he was at the Karolinska Institute, a lot of like allegations came up about scientific misconduct. Investigations revealed that Paolo Macchiarini was doing experimental surgery on patients without ethical oversight and without approvals. Further like investigations revealed that he actually lied on his resume. Are we surprised? He like misrepresented like his credentials. Not only that, like they called up these universities that he'd put on his resume that were like really high up. He put them on his resume. They called them up and they were like, hey, did Paolo Macchiarini go to this uni? And can you spell that for me? Macchiarini, no, we never heard of him. This man was lying. Do I talk about one of the patients? We'll talk about one of the patients. Julia Tulik. So she became his patient in 2012, and she had a damaged trachea from a car accident. For a young woman, it's a life-changing thing. Her family found Paolo Macchiarini, and they had heard about his synthetic trachea and all the stories about all these patients before her that were success stories. She has the surgery, and unfortunately, the surgery was not successful. The synthetic trachea that was supposed to integrate with her body just got completely rejected. It began to deteriorate. She suffered from severe infections, like multiple infections. People in her family would say like she started to smell like she was rotting. So Julia went back for other surgeries to try and fix the problem. She underwent 2 trachea replacement surgeries, and she passed away in 2014. Another one of Paolo Macchiarini's patients was Yasemin Setir, who was a Turkish woman. She had had surgery in 2011 with another surgeon, and during that surgery, she suffered damage to her trachea. Here comes along Paolo Macchiarini. Look at all these success stories that I have, and you're gonna be totally fine. Just trust me, trust me. I'm like in all these magazines, trust me. Paolo Macchiarini performed the trachea transplant on her. Do you think it worked? No, it didn't work, because none of them worked. This poor woman suffered greatly. She had so many complications, recurrent infections, and over the course of 3 years, she ended up having 200 surgeries. Because of these extensive medical procedures, she lost her life. Where do we go from here? In 2016, the fallout was massive. You cannot hide patients dying. You can't cover that up. He would blame like the anaesthetist, he would blame the medical team, he'd blame anyone that he could. He would never turn up to follow-up appointments with those patients that were suffering. And eventually people had come forward to complain about Macchiarini's practices. This fallout led to the person that hired Macchiarini at the Karolinska Institute to resign. She quit. She had to quit. She had no other choice. She hired this man. All she had to do was read his CV when he applied for the job. I'm not sure if he just like applied on Seek for the job. Call up one of the places and be like, hey, tell me about Paolo. And they would have been like, we don't know who this guy is. So she's gone. The scandal didn't just like end careers. It raised a lot of questions about experimental surgeries and the oversight of ethics. And Macchiarini's case became a cautionary tale globally about the ambition of innovation with the lack of ethics. You want to know, did he go to jail? 2022, which was not that long ago, in a Swedish court, they convicted Macchiarini of causing bodily harm, and he was given a suspended sentence. A suspended sentence. My God. People weren't happy about this. They were not happy. Understandably, like the families weren't happy, the other medical practitioners, the surgeons that had to help some of his patients afterwards, they were not happy. So they went through appeals court. They found him guilty and they convicted him to 2 years and 6 months in prison. Okay, so as of now, he is coming to the end, but he's still serving his prison time. I feel like Paolo Macchiarini's story is one of the most dramatic and unbelievable of modern day medicine. His story is like a massive reminder about the ethical responsibilities that come with medical innovation. I don't know, like, it's pretty sad. A lot of people had to suffer, maybe, and you know, these people didn't know that, these people truly believed that this was tried, tested, and successful. So these people were kind of duped into these surgeries and ended up losing their lives. They believed in this man that was very charming and convincing, and he was very good at speaking. And he convinced them to go through with it, and them not knowing that they were just the guinea pigs for this procedure. If you're interested in watching the story of what I spoke about today with Paolo Macchiarini, you can catch it on Netflix, and it's called Bad Surgeon.